What's up YouTube, this is Shuttle Boy and I'm back with yet another video. Today's video, before we started actually, I do have to acknowledge, yes, I am back in the new/old Shuttle Boy headquarters here. You're going to be seeing me in this location for videos to come. I'm not going to say that the other location is not going to be seen in any videos. You're definitely still going to see it, just not as often at the moment. So expect this background for videos to come. But without further ado, we have a review on our hands today, guys, with a sneaker that I really love and I'm really excited about. I really anticipated this coming in, and I have some things to say about it, some pros and some cons. And without further ado, let's get into the review of the Adidas Micropacer. So let's get right into it, guys. Alright, so just preface my love for the Adidas Micropacer. I said this in the unboxing video that this is probably my Adidas grail. I can't really think of any other Adidas sneaker that I love more than the Adidas Micropacer. Now, there are some Jeremy Scott sneakers like the Bones, the Gorilla Joints, and the Wings. I always wanted a pair of the Wing that I would really love to get my hands on, but as far as regular Adidas sneakers, I think this is what takes the cake for me. This shoe originally released, I believe, in 1984, and that's what makes me love this sneaker in a weird sense, because it has a futuristic take from the 80s, and I love seeing how, looking back at it now, it's like, wow, they really thought this was crazy technology here. I love these weird computer ideas, and that's what the sneaker is here, because in 1984 they decided to add a pedometer into the sneaker, calling it the Micropacer, because it's supposed to actually log your steps in. It knows exactly how many steps you take, and it's supposed to have a couple other functions as well. And I thought that was so cool. Such a cool thing when you see sneakers and technology blend together. Another sneaker that this reminds me of is, if you haven't heard of it already, definitely look it up. The Puma RS Computer. I really hope that sneaker comes back in a very close original form. We've seen some collaborations that are similar, but never anything that's really original. And I really hope that happens eventually too, because I really love that sneaker just like I like this one. But as far as this sneaker goes, I am pretty happy with it, but there are definitely some things here with this retro rendition that definitely disappoint me some. Now we're gonna start with the aesthetic look of the sneaker. I absolutely love it. I think it's awesome. I know some of you people out there are gonna be like, this is not very wearable, but I am here to say that this sneaker is a lot more wearable than it leads on to believe. Obviously right now it matches me really well, so this is a little bit of an exception, but silver is just a form of gray, honestly. So you can wear this with jeans, you can wear these with sweats. This is a runner shoe, so I think it looks really good with joggers and stuff. But I think this sneaker looks really good with jeans, like light wash jeans, especially because it has that light blue hit on the stripes and on the back tab here. Then we do have a little bit of red here and black, which this is where you can see the inspiration the NMD took from the sneaker, the cool looking blocks, which I think is really cool. And the bottom I think is even pretty cool on the sneaker. Nothing crazy, but I really like the look of it. And the obvious thing, the thing that is what makes the sneaker what it is the Micropacer technology itself. This shoe actually has the Micropacer in it, which logs your steps and stuff. It's this really bulky thing. But the other shoe actually has a little pouch where this would be. So there's only one computer on one shoe, and then the other one has a little pouch on it, which I think is a really cool idea. Obviously, you can see here, it is a Velcro piece, and there's actually laces under here. I don't even know if I knew that going into the sneaker, because there's really not many videos or reviews on the sneaker whatsoever of any time period. And it's just really cool that they added laces to it. But I think another thing that makes this really cool is, as long as you Velcro this up to where it's supposed to be, you really don't even have to tie these shoes. So I recommend tying these kind of loose, because this stays tight pretty well. But I do want to get into some cons I have with this sneaker here that kind of reference the things I've already talked about here. One thing being, the colorway is really cool, but that comes at a cost, because the materials they're good and they're bad. Now, they're very thick cuts of materials, but this being a synthetic material, which Adidas loves to use their synthetics, it's very stiff, I'm not gonna lie here. You can feel the creases on your foot when it bends. You can just feel the material digging into your foot. And I will say, I am starting to see it breaking in some after some time, and I think this will break in, but it's gonna take a lot longer than some of the shoes you guys know and love that are leathers and suedes and stuff like that. Another thing that just annoys me a little bit that kind of adds to that is this part is really bulky. So this part just adds the stiffness, because this is just like 3 or 4 layers of stiff material on this overlay part added to the midfoot. So it just makes the shoe even more stiff, especially because it's that stiff material all the way through. So that's another annoying thing. And then the other thing that's really sad to say about this sneaker that I'm a little disappointed in is the Micropacer itself. Now, to preface that really here, we got a little instruction booklet here, which is really tiny handout, which I said was really cool in the unboxing video, and it is still cool. It lists some of the things it can do, like it says it has a pedometer, obviously. It says it displays dates, so you can actually have the date in there. It also, you can set a time on it, so a clock. And then you can also set a stopwatch timer on it, is what it says. And I'm here to say this is all a scam, because this actually only shows a pedometer on here, and then there's another function on here which I'm not even really sure what it is exactly. It says C and then 50, which I'm assuming is calories, but I could be wrong on that. I'm not even sure. It's been 50 since I've had this sneaker, so I don't even know. But that's a little disappointing, because it is such a small little computer and it's so relatively cheap that I would think they could add those functions in. Just to give you some transparency on how this works with this sneaker is, when you see this shroud here, there's actually a little pouch, which I already pulled it out a little bit, but this is the computer right here, guys. It's this tiny little puck. This is the computer in this sneaker, and it's funny how this whole huge pouch just houses this tiny thing. Now, I'm sure it might have been a little bit different back in the day. It might have been a little bit bulkier, but it's crazy to see this. And it also just raises the awareness that this was probably really cheap to make. So I really wish they could have just added those extra functionalities to this thing, because I doubt it would have cost them all that much. I mean, they had a whole pamphlet just on that. I wish this was true, but unfortunately it's not true, and we only have the pedometer in here, which is a bit of a shame, because that's the thing you're buying the sneaker for, is that weird quirkiness of that. But unfortunately it only does that. But on the optimistic note, they could have easily just put a screen print of a fake screen on there and just called it a day. So I'm happy they at least added it in the sneaker. Now, I do have 2 other little gripes I want to talk about with you guys. We're going to start with the insole first. How about that? Very thin. Obviously, it looks pretty fat in the back, but it's just curved. It's not actually fat in the back. It's super thin. One of the worst insoles I have gotten in a sneaker in a really long time. And it has no impact protection. And it's really a shame, because you can see with the molding of it, it has a little bit of a crash pad and contour here, and it's very flexible here. It has some flex grooves in the front. So the mold of it looks like it could have been a really nice one, but they decided to go with this really cheap one, which is really a shame. And then to make matters worse when it comes to comfort on the sneaker, the strobo board here is literally a brick. It's ridiculous how hard this is. You hear that? That is the strobo board, me hitting it. It's literally like a rock, guys. It's ridiculous. And that's in between your foot and the cushion, which isn't all that great. Obviously, the midsole is kind of thin on its own, but it does have a little bit of a bounce to it. So it's a shame that this is blocking your foot from even feeling that. So I will say that the shoe did make my feet hurt after a while pretty easily, but I'm hoping that I can add a pretty cheap insole into this sneaker and just take this one out, and I think we should be good to go, which I'm hoping to do in the future. But it's just really a shame they didn't add any cost into that, either, because they did both things. They did a double negative. They gave you a thin insole and they gave you this really crappy strobo board. Lastly, I do want to talk about the fit with this sneaker as we look at the on feet. I think the sneaker looks amazing on feet, but the fit fits like a typical Adidas sneaker, I'm here to say. where I say my Nikes, I pretty much always get an 11.5. And while Adidas is a little bit inconsistent, they usually do fit a little bit bigger than Nikes in all aspects as far as width and length. So I did go to a size 11 in these, and they do fit perfectly, I'm here to say. So definitely I would go half a size down from your Nike size if you're interested in these. Like I said, I usually wear an 11.5 in Nikes, and I got an 11 in these Adidas, and it fit me great. So that was nice that at least the fit wasn't too wonky as far as that goes. But all in all, guys, I gotta say I really love this sneaker. I'm very happy to have it. And also I'm a little disappointed because this is a sneaker I've wanted for a very long time, and there are some things here that definitely could have been better with this shoe. Now adding an insole is nice, like that'll solve some of the problems here, but I shouldn't really have to do that, and I wish that it just came with a nice insole. And the other thing being the function of the Micropacer just not really being up to snuff is a little bit of a disappointment too. But alas, I'm just happy that this sneaker is back, and I am so happy to wear these a ton. But let me know your thoughts on the sneaker down below as well, guys. And that's pretty much going to conclude the video, guys. Please hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already for more golf wing, more sneakers, more clothing, and more Shuttle Boy. And this is Shuttle Boy, guys, and I'm out, guys. Peace.